I've been told that on the way to the hospital, my parents were singing the Ode to Joy, but right before I came out. So that's where it started, probably. You know, might have gotten the message. I feel just deeply connected to certain works of art, like certain pieces that we play. We have to make these masterpieces live. We have to make them, they exist in time, and we have to make it happen. So we're sort of the torch carriers, you know, like we have to keep the flame alive. So, you know, Rembrandt is not in any danger, you know, because he hangs on the walls. You know, it's like you can go in your own time and spend as much time as you want to with these great masterpieces that are hanging on the wall. But Beethoven has to exist within the framework of it starts now and ends now. And so it needs to be performed live. We have to do it. I don't think there's a choice, really. I don't think people quite realize like the kind of processing that we're doing, because we're taking on, you know, the message from the composer. There's the technical aspect of what we have to do to execute our job, and then receive maybe what a director is saying, but then also share our intentions all non-verbally. So I mean, it's nuts. When I think about it sometimes, often when I have a break and I'm just alone in my house or, you know, with friends or family or whatever, and then I arrive at an orchestra, the first day is often like, it just feels like a huge jolt to me of so many people, social interaction. But the nice thing is that the SCO is a remarkably nice orchestra. I don't think I've ever met a nicer group of people in orchestra. It's unbelievable. I noticed it straight off. The first time I came in was in 2017 for a recording project as a guest. And every time I've been back, there's something about, I think we have a sense of responsibility for the vibe, for the atmosphere of rehearsals and concerts backstage. People are kind to each other and treat each other with respect. It's very impressive to me. I think making music requires that you confront things about yourself that you maybe rather not. Like when I go to a concert, sometimes I don't want to go. Sometimes I'm tired and I'm not in the mood for it. But there is always something that happens where I'm transformed or elevated or challenged, or, you know, I get annoyed, but like there's action that happens which is not like anything else. You sit down at a concert, the music starts, maybe you're distracted, maybe you're tired, maybe you get a little nap in before the interval, whatever, but something happens at some point where you're taken over by this chemistry that happens in the room. The electricity between someone sharing music in the moment where it has to happen at this time, between these minute marks, between 7:30 and 9:30, whatever it is, that it's just, there's nothing like it. You can't pause the movie, you can't get up, you have to be there. It's a shared experience. I think the act of creating art is essential. So I think that when I'm in the act of doing that, I feel that I'm part of what's good about humanity. It's a profession where I'm not exploiting another human being. I think that's, in a capitalist system, it's like really difficult to do a job that doesn't take resources from somebody else or take someone else's labor. So the labor that I'm doing is only a positive thing. So I sleep well at night because I know that like what I'm doing is hopefully creating something positive. Hopefully changing someone's, you know, life. Like sometimes, you know, if you reach one person in the audience who has an epiphany or is brought to tears, then that makes like years of work worth it, just, you know, one person. So it's sort of like, you know, you're not contributing to any of the problems in the world, and hopefully you're doing something good. Well, I think in order to play music, one needs to be very open and sort of sensitive, and I think empathy is a really important thing. So it's like, you know, as I'm doing it, I think, okay, this is why this is you know why we're still here. This is you know like this is what we have. This is the best of us. So maybe it's sharing that. It's sharing what is the best of humanity. I guess my thing would be like everyone should make music and make art. Like even if you're an amateur, everyone should do it. You know, and that would solve a lot of problems.